This video is about codominance, and you'll find that codominance is very much like incomplete dominance. Just like with incomplete dominance, neither allele is dominant in this particular scenario. The difference between incomplete dominance and codominance is that when we're working in incomplete dominance cross, if you have two different alleles, they're going to mix. Whereas if we have codominance going on, if you have two different alleles, both of those alleles are going to show up in the offspring. So for my example, I'm going to use hair color in horses. And so I'm going to choose H to represent the horse hair color, H for hair. And there is one allele that is for red hairs on the horse, HR, I will list that as. And there's one allele for white hairs on the horse, which is HW. So if I have a parent horse that has one allele for red and one allele for white, again, notice I'm keeping these in alphabetical order, just like we did with the incomplete dominance. If I have a horse that has both of those, this horse is going to have a mix of hair colors. Some of the hairs on its body are going to be red, some of the hairs on its body are going to be white. So this is basically red and white. And I'm putting it in parentheses because plenty of people who are horse owners actually have a name for this. They call this being roan. This is a roan horse. It has some red hairs, it has some white hairs. So we're going to cross two roan horses. So both of these horses are HR, HW, and both horses have some red hairs, some white hairs. So I will work them in my box exactly like I've done with every other problem. One parent on the left, this parent could give either an HR or an HW. And same thing for the other parent, an HR or an HW. And now I start filling in my boxes, keeping it alphabetical, just like I did when I did the incomplete dominance. So this box gets an HR from the left and an HR from the top. This box gets an HR from the left and an HW from the top. This box gets an HR from the top and an HW from the left. And my final box gets two HWs, one from the left, one from the top. Again, I keep it alphabetical in the box. And when I write my genotypic ratios, I keep it alphabetical there as well. So that means my HRs will come first. The horses could be HR, HR. They could be HR, HW. Or they could be HW, HW. So counting these up, I have one horse with two red alleles, two horses that have one of each allele, and one horse that ends up with both white alleles. So this is 25%, 50%, 25%. And for the phenotypic ratio, they are going to be in the exact same order they are up here. So HR means two red alleles. Those will only be red-haired horses. So that would be red. HW means some red hairs, some white hairs. Remember that in horses, that has the name roan. And then finally HW, which is white hairs only. And I've listed these in the exact same order that they were for my genotypic ratio, exactly the way we did it in incomplete dominance. We take our totals, that's 1, 2, and 1, and 25%, 50%, 25% ratio. And that's how you work codominance.